Hello everyone and welcome back to Soren Review. And today we're going to be reviewing the 17th race of the NASCAR Cup Series season for 2022 at Nashville Super Speedway. It was a late night end to the race where on a late race restart, Chase Elliott was able to hold off the field and win after a Toyota dominated race. So I want to talk about a few things in this race because there's a few concerns I have for the on-track product when it comes to tracks smaller than 1.5 miles. And I think you can probably, if you either watched the race or watched almost any other short oval race this season, you can kind of get at what I'm gonna probably say. I also want to talk about the kind of throughout the race what happened and where some of the guys who ran really well today ended up finishing and what happened with that. And then I'll give you my rating in a moment. So let's talk about let's get the race results out of the way. So the race results are on your screen now. Chase Elliott wins, but he won in a late race dominating fashion because Toyota dominated almost the entire race. Other than 4 laps led by Logano, 1 lap led by Ryan Blaney, and technically 3 laps led by Kurt Busch, so this is more a Joe Gibbs dominated race, and the 42 laps that Chase Elliott led, they led every other lap. So of the 300, they led over 75%. Denny Hamlin, 114 laps led. Martin Truex and Kyle Busch, 82 and 54 respectively. They did very good. They dominated the race. They were up front most of the day. But in the end, it was Chase Elliott, and this was mainly due to the race was broken up, and this was mainly due to rain and lightning. We had going through the race itself, we had a 40-lap run to begin, and in that 40-lap run, action already. A lot of people falling through the field. We had the lightning rain, and then we restarted. And this is when some drivers that I think we thought were going to run well started to have problems. Primarily Alex Bowman and William Byron. They both had problems. Alex Bowman crashed after getting tagged by Corey LaJoie. He was out early. He finished last, the first time that's happened since 2018. And then William Byron, a mechanical issue. He was fast too. They got him fixed. He was 38 laps down when he came out of the track, and he stayed 38 laps down for the rest of the race. If he didn't have that mechanical issue, he probably would have been in contention for either a win or a top 10. After that as well, Chase Briscoe and Ty Dillon wrecked. That also took Briscoe out of contention, and similar to Byron, he probably would have been in contention for a top 10. He finished 31 laps down. I believe he entered the track about 30 or so laps down after repairing the car. So again, Chase Briscoe and William Byron, tough breaks for them. But throughout the race, we got to about lap 140, and in the first half of the race, it was Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex. They were the two fastest cars, battling back and forth. And that's where I want to talk about one quick thing. The racing was really good, but as I'll mention later, there's a concern that I have about the racing throughout the whole race. We had a 2.5-hour rain delay. We restarted, and like any time a track gets rain affected and we have a multi-hour rain delay, who's kind of running up front kind of changes. Kyle Busch started to join the race, and the first non-Toyota, Chase Elliott, he kept working on the car, and around the mid-race point when we kind of restarted, Chase was moving through the field, and I had a feeling he probably was going to be in contention for this, and he was. Martin Truex won both first and second stages, but in the end, he really wasn't there. It was going to come down to a green flag pit stop. Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott were the two cars that were up front. It was Chase Elliott versus Kyle Busch. And then with about 10 to go, this is when things get shaken up. a caution comes out due to Josh Bilicki expiring his engine, and there's nothing more, I guess, frustrating when drivers, crew chiefs make poor calls. What ended up happening was about 7 cars stayed out on the older tires. Everybody else came for new tires, and we restarted with 4 to go. Tire wear was not that big of a deal. It was affected. We saw when Logano took 2 tires earlier in the race, he didn't fall off that bad. He fell off. He felt lost, fell to the lower half of the top 10, but he was able to keep pace. So I don't think it was a good pick at all, and it didn't. Most of the guys that stayed out ended up finishing in the top 10, and Kyle Busch and Martin Truex, who both pitted, finished 21st and 22nd. Just unfortunate for both of them. It seemed like they both kind of gave up. They had to avoid Cole Custer and Brad Keselowski, and we'll talk about this in a moment. They ended up finishing towards the back. But first, let's go to the top 10, and then we'll talk about what happened on that last restart. Chase Elliott wins, Kurt Busch, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson, Ross Chastain. Kurt Busch was not up front, but he was definitely a top 10 contender. Ryan Blaney spun out earlier in the race. He was spun out with about 80 to go, and he recovers for a nice third. Austin Cindric grabs his 4th top 10 of the season. Kevin Harvick rounds to the top 10. Not much to focus on this. Not on the top 10, Bubba Wallace was extremely fast today. Worked his way up to 7th. His pit crew ended up costing him a lot of positions and a lap. Recovers to 12th. Michael McDowell in 13th. He was on track for a top 10 before the restart. So Michael McDowell just so close to another top 10. Martin Truex and Kyle Busch, though, on the restart, there's a bit of controversy because when we got to 3 and 4 on the with 4 to go, Cole Custer got loose, wrecked himself, and Brad Keselowski. And for the rest of those last few laps, Brad Keselowski was extremely slow on the track, and NASCAR chose not to call the caution. Bit of controversy. You could definitely say that it was for Chase Elliott. I think it was just not. It's just NASCAR being incompetent again and choosing not when to call the cautions. Brad Keselowski was also on track for a top 10 before it. He finishes 29th with his teammate Chris Buescher in 30th. Chris Buescher had a tire let go with a 4 weeks penalty. He brought out a late caution in the final stage. He was also on track for a top 10 as well. Kyle Busch also seemed to give up after that because Kyle Busch and Truex had to slow down. They lost a ton of track position, any chance to win. Kyle Busch just wall rode the last lap and seemed to basically give up. So tough breaks for the both of them. They definitely deserve top 5s or at least top 10s. Just a overall good race. 8 out of 10 is my race ranking. But I want to talk about an issue that I noticed. And it's a trend we've noticed with this next gen car. There's still a lot of dirty air. Clean air was a big factor in today's race, and this was voiced by Kyle Busch. It's Kyle Busch, but it was really difficult to pass and pull away from the other car. There was some really good racing, a lot of 2 and 3 wide. There was a point where Chastain, Larson, and Harvick were 3 wide for like 2 or 3 laps. So that was really crazy. But there's a lot of dirty air still, and it's mainly at these tracks smaller than 1.5 miles. It's unfortunate. I don't know how NASCAR is gonna fix it. I've heard taking off the diffuser, and I think that could work. It's not it's not working right now, in my opinion. I think the racing for tracks like Phoenix and Nashville and Dover and the short tracks can be a lot better than what we've seen this season. But this dirty air is just really hurting the car. So I don't know what to say. I say we definitely make an adjustment. NASCAR's working on that, but I did just want to bring it up that this was another one of those races that we saw dirty air come into effect. But that's going to do it for this video. Remember, you can use code Soren72 to get free shipping on all orders $30 or more when you use the code Soren72 at checkout on Circle B Diecast. You get free shipping. Next Gen Diecast are a month away. Do not miss out. They're going to sell out very, very quickly. Also, follow me on Twitter if you want, @ReviewSoren. Feel free to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and goodbye.